Welcome to Old Fox Racing PlayStation. It has been a while, but now we start coverage of the championship currently running in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. It's the return of the Transatlantic Cup, covering UK and US circuits in the amazing Ginetta G40 GT5 car. We have not used this car since 2022. Last year we used the Caterham 7, this year we are back to the Ginetta, and also we have a special appearance with the Renault Clio later on in the season in some of the US tracks. That's for later. Now it's round 1, it's 11 drivers, and your pole position man is Delphi Moura, followed by Diogo Silva on the first row of the grid with that red livery. Second row it's Scott Davely and Diogo Almeida. Third row Darren Head and Jumbo. Fourth row it's Simon Allen and Gonçalo Mota. Fifth row Kev Allen and Jorge Jesus. And on the sixth row on his own is David Emge. We have 11 drivers at the start. How many will we have at the finish? That's what we're going to find out here at Donington Park National. And the season is go, go, go now, and that number 30 of Delphi Moura has had a good start from pole position. Diogo Silva tucks behind him and puts Scott Davely in a bit of a box there. They all approach red gate corner. That's turn 1, and Delphi Moura is going to be your leader. Let's see if they all go through it safely, as we see the first few drivers. A bit of pushing and shoving there, but everyone seems to go through relatively safely side by side there between Scott Davely and Diogo Almeida. There they are, but it seems to me that Scott Davely has maintained third place, and Darren Head is in fifth place there, having a look at the Portuguese driver as they go through the old hairpin for the first time. We have 17 laps here. We are running the national layout, which is a fairly short lap even in a GT5 car, and Scott Davely already defending heavily there from Diogo Almeida and from Darren Head on the inside there. Oh, and that Simon Allen there wants a piece of that action too, as Darren Head is inside Diogo Almeida. Oh, and look at this first lap. We have plenty of good behavior so far, as everyone very well behaved, but it is Delphi Moura who is going to lead the first lap of this race. Again, the camera switches in this simulation are not great, and we see a car at the back. Almost looks like he was running into pit lane. That's Kev Allen. He was in 10th place, now he's in 11th. He hasn't actually lost that much time, but let's have a replay of what happened here with Kev Allen, as he almost looked he wanted to pit. Oh, and that was a little bit of pushing and shoving there with I believe that's Gonçalo Mota on Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus is on the inside, Gonçalo Mota is on the outside. Kev Allen is behind them. Jorge Jesus takes the corner, brakes quite late. Gonçalo Mota, he just gets a little bit out of shape. Oh, he was trying to move. He was trying to move outside then inside, but Kev Allen was opportunistically trying to get around Gonçalo Mota. But nothing that Gonçalo could do there, as he was a little bit out of shape himself. So minor incident here, but Kev Allen losing one position, as we have the race leader already 0.6 of a second ahead of Diogo Silva in second place. Third is Scott Davely. Fourth is Diogo Almeida. Fifth is Darren Head. There's Diogo Almeida, that number 24 car that continues to and there's a bit of a train here behind Scott Davely. Pretty close racing, as Scott is ahead of Diogo Almeida, ahead of Darren Head, ahead of Simon Allen. There he is, Simon Allen. Well, there he is when the camera actually focuses on Simon Allen, as Simon Allen in 6th place. 7th is Jumbo. 8th is Jorge Jesus. 9th is Gonçalo Mota. 10th is David Emge, and there is a battle here. The battle between Jorge Jesus and Gonçalo Mota continues, now perhaps with less drama at the chicane, and ahead of them it's Jumbo, but the gap at the front, it's again, oh, and there's action there, I believe, between Darren Head and Diogo Almeida side by side. Darren Head on the outside is not the ideal line through this corner, but let's see if Darren Head is going to go for it, and they try to run side by side, but I think Darren is going to run out of room, or is he? Because they managed to run side by side through red gate corner. Simon Allen wants a piece of that action too. Diogo Almeida retains fourth place, but of course the guy that must be loving this is Scott Davely, because as these drivers are close to wrecking each other, they're also importantly losing time in that process. And look at this, it's 1.4 seconds that Scott Davely has opened as a gap, and Diogo Almeida on the previous lap was all over him, as now Diogo Almeida is on the defensive again through the final section of the circuit, as Darren Head is trying to get a better exit out of this corner here into the straight, which of course is not, well, breaks into a chicane, but the chicane that is the other way compared to the full circuit, and then you go straight into the start-finish line. You do avoid those last two hairpins of this Donington Park circuit. Nice exit there by Diogo Almeida and by Darren Head, and it's Darren actually that's now under pressure from Simon Allen, as Diogo Almeida did quite a good exit there. We have a battle at the back there between David Emge and Kev Allen. Kev Allen is on the recovery route after that almost tangling with Gonçalo Mota, having to take evasive action on lap 1, and Kev is, oh no, Kev Allen spins on his own. Oh no, this is disastrous for Kev Allen's aspirations in this race. He does get, where is he? Yeah, there he is, trying to rally across this Ginetta. Disaster for Kev Allen. He's now firmly in last, 6 seconds behind David Emge. David running on his own almost. Then he's Gonçalo Mota, Jorge Jesus, Jumbo. Oh, but there's a bit of a scramble here again between as actually, well, some things have happened because Simon Allen went ahead. We're going to have a replay of that. Simon Allen made a move on Darren Head up into 5th place, and we kind of missed that by looking at that Kev incident, and it looks like it was done well on the 4th lap by the looks of it. And we're also going to go to the chase camera to see exactly what happened here with Simon Allen and Darren Head, and Darren losing a position, and this was done in Redgate corner. There you go, as Simon Allen was behind Darren, and he's going to go, is he going to go for the lunge, or is it that Darren, oh no, nice move there by Simon Allen and locking up Darren Head, and Simon Allen perfectly positions the car to have more momentum at the exit and gets the position. Nicely done there by Simon Allen. That was a good move, and perhaps now he can go after Diogo Almeida. Diogo in 4th place, trying to chase Scott Davely in 3rd. Diogo Silva retains 2nd, and of course your leader and pole position man is, since the 1st lap, Delphi Moura, trying to open the season with a win, as we see here Jumbo also trying to get a piece of this action. Simon Allen a bit out of shape there, and Darren almost got a move, but not quite. In fact, Darren is the one that had a bad exit now, and Darren had struggling a little bit at this point. Very close race. Look at this, that's Jorge Jesus came out of nowhere in that number 21, now side by side, and he's got a really good chance, as well, Jumbo has a little bit of a draft, but Jorge Jesus is the last of the late breakers, and he's going to go for it. Jumbo saw him coming and gave him space. Up into 7th place goes Jorge Jesus, and let's have a look at the Gonçalo Mota. What's happening is a few car lengths behind. Look at this, Darren Head is going to go for it. Darren Head is going to go for it on the move on turn 1, trying to get back that 5th place, and he does so, as Simon Allen has to yield, and Jorge Jesus manages to defend from Jumbo. But nice nice battle here for, yeah, ultimately 5th place, and well, plenty of action, but clean action here in this quartet. And let's see, where is Gonçalo Mota? Well, he's right as you would expect, because these drivers running like this inevitably are going to lose time, and of course the drivers behind have a little bit of a run. Look at this, Jorge Jesus is really on the move now. Jorge Jesus is really on the move. Simon Allen is going defensive. Simon Allen is going defensive, and really, oh, a bit of a concertina effect there with Jumbo hitting the back of Jorge Jesus. Gonçalo Mota has a very good view of this. Look at this, Simon Allen is again going to go for it on Darren Head. This is the best camera. I do apologize, I prefer the TV camera, but the transitions are just a little bit too slow. Darren Head, nice defense there. But what does this mean for Simon Allen? Simon Allen is now under pressure from Jorge Jesus. He's got to go on the attack, and here comes Jorge Jesus He's going to go 3 wide. George Sus is going to go through the middle. George Sus is going to go through the middle of the two, and he might just get away with it. On the outside in turn 1, George Sus, what a move. He did an amazing move there, and Darren Head drops to 7. Drops to 7 on the exit. Now he recovers. Let's have a replay of this from Darren Head's perspective, because, or Simon Allen's perspective, because we're looking at George Sus going through the middle, and this was quite the move here, and everyone was paying a lot of attention to where other cars were, because George Sus just comes through the middle. He's got the momentum. He boxes Simon Allen there. Now Simon is going to run side by side with Darren, and he's got more momentum at the start of the corner, but not at the exit of the corner. Darren also has the preferred line for this sequence of corners now, and Simon Allen wisely yielding there. And Jumbo, oh look at this, there's Gonçalo Mota on the outside of pretty much everyone. Now he's running out of road. He's running out of road and does not spin, but loses time. We'll get a replay of what happened. Gonçalo Mota was, I think, rather optimistically hoping to overtake everyone there. He's coming with a lot of momentum, and as you can see, others are also tangling with one another, but I'm not entirely sure what the move was here. He's going on the outside of Jumbo. Jumbo is taking the racing line, and then Gonçalo just runs out of road there, and it was a high-risk move, and it didn't really pay off. He does not lose more than 9th place, because Kev Allen is 10 seconds behind him, and David Emge is running 11th now. Let's have a look at this battle. This is amazing stuff, as they're also catching up to Joe Almeida in 4th, and we haven't seen really the leaders. We're going to check what's happening with the leaders now, but it's Delphi Moura who's setting the pace here. Delphi Moura finishing lap 6, so we are a little bit more than the third. Let's look at the lap times. Diogo Silva is not far behind, only 0.6 of a second, and Scott Davely is 1.3 seconds behind Diogo, so pretty much everything to play for here at Donington Park. But the big battle is for sure here, which has been the main focus of our attention. Diogo Almeida, then it's George Sus with that amazing move, then it's Simon Allen, but he's under pressure from Darren Head. Darren is trying left, right and center to go around Simon Allen, but he's still in 7th with Simon Allen in 6th, and they just keep swapping positions throughout this race. And oh, look at this, some problem for Diogo Almeida, surely. Some problem for Diogo Almeida. Yes, that's a problem for Diogo Almeida. We are going to have a replay of what happened. He made a mistake. He was delayed, and he completely completely lost time. Oh, and that's why he just lost it at the old hairpin on his own. He's off the line, then he's a little bit too wide there. Does not lose a lot of time, but look at this. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 cars going through. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, the fourth one didn't come, but it's Jumbo almost hit the back of Diogo Almeida. Now there is a bit of a concertina effect with the driver in front here is George Jesus. Let's go trackside with him. This is incredible racing here at Donington Park. George Zeus seems to have checked out a little bit from Simon Allen. Simon Allen is under huge pressure from Darren Head, but that has been the case for the last 3 laps. Now on the inside is going to be a bit of a sitting duck. Simon Allen there trying to run side by side, and he does it. Oh, and he just pushes Darren Head a little bit towards the back end of the track. And look at this, Simon Allen is running side by side with Darren Head. I think Darren is going to finish the job now in turn 1. This is incredible racing, a bit of pushing and shoving, as you would expect with the Ginetta, and behind them it's Diogo Almeida trying to be oh, look at this Diogo Almeida on the inside of Darren Head. Now they're running 3 wide there. They're running 3 wide, but nice move there by Diogo Almeida that manages to overtake both of them, and Simon Allen is the driver that is being shuffled back to, this is contact between, the Darren Head goes off, Darren Head goes off. He's got the worst out of it, and we are going to have a replay of what happened, but it seems to me there was a little bit too much pushing and shoving there between everyone, and Darren Head is the driver that ended up off the track, but well, he was in the middle of that pushing and shoving. We'll get the replay of what happened here. And we're going to rewind to the chicane as well to see, well, what happened between Simon Allen and Darren Head at the chicane, and then what happened at the start-finish line. And yes, there you go. So Darren Head is side by side, so he's got the right to do the move. At this point, it seems that he's got the job done, but he wisely tries to give Simon some space, and Simon, with that, takes the whole of it, and he gets through the line. Now there's still space for both of them, and this is still, I guess, borderline okay. Darren not completely off the track and does not lose that much momentum, actually, because you can see he's side by side. He's behind Simon now, so it does lose a bit of momentum. Now he's got the racing line and he's going to go for it. But look at this, Diogo Almeida with a very nice move. Now Simon does the normal racing line, so does Darren, that decides to let Simon through, and Diogo Almeida says excuse me and just overtakes both of them. Nice move, no contact, but leaves basically now Darren and Simon battling for now 6th place. And now at the Old Hairpin, this is the contact between Simon Allen and, so let's have a quick look here at, well, Simon Allen clearly has the right to that corner and he uses it, does not use too much or too little of it. Darren could have, well, the problem with Darren is that if he just widens his line, he's going to go off track anyway, so there is a contact, and then Darren, oh, and then he just clips the grass there, and that puts him completely out of shape. He tries not to spin and successfully avoids spinning, but ends up shuffling to the back of these, and he's going to get overtaken by Gonçalo Mota as well, so not a great situation for Darren here as he gets down into 9th. Now let's go back to the action, because this means Jorge Jesus has opened a little bit of a gap in 4th place. The battle for 5th continues, and we're going to get the replay of what the leaders are doing. Look at this, this is Diogo Almeida now on Simon Allen. Diogo Almeida has lost the position, Simon Allen again. So Simon Allen back into 5th place. What a race. This is what we expected with this Ginetta. You're either on your own and then you're fine, or if you are on the back, be prepared to be there battling all afternoon for positions. Now Diogo Almeida is on the defensive against Jumbo. He was on the offensive against Simon Allen, and now he's going to get defensive against Jumbo. That's for 7th place, for 6th place, sorry. The Gonçalo Mota is 8th, 9th is Darren Head, as we saw, 10th is Kev Allen, and 11th is David Emge. We'll go back just to the race leaders for a second, and look at this. The gap at the front is pretty much stable, 1:15.472, and this illustrates the point about running in free air. The leaders are doing 1:15.472, 1:15.536. Scott Davely and Jorge Jesus on the 1:16s. And then look at this, Simon Allen, oh, there's action there as Diogo Almeida got again, again ahead of Simon Allen, and we're going to get the replay on how this panned out, if we can. Well, we can't really make this work with this is going to be a dive here, is it? No, it's going to be at the exit. Nice exit there by Diogo Almeida, nice exit, and Diogo Almeida has been making nice moves, very clean moves as well, and he does get back into 5th place. Then is Simon Allen and Jumbo, so now the group of 5 has been reduced to 3 because of Darren Head's demise, and also the fact that well, Gonçalo Mota also running a few seconds behind this group, and of course Jorge Jesus managing to check out a little bit as Darren Head now is on the back of Gonçalo Mota. Darren trying to go back into 8th place, Gonçalo going defensive there and taking the inside line, Darren taking the outside line, and it seems to me that it's going to work. No, not quite. Gonçalo Mota, nice defensive move there as let's, oh, look at this, unsurprisingly they've swapped positions again. There's well, no, sorry, Diogo Almeida was already in front of Simon Allen the last time we checked, but for how much longer, because he made a mistake at the exit of the old hairpin, and now they're running side by side, and surely this is going to be, oh, and contact between the two drivers there, contact between the two drivers. Does it put Simon Allen out of shape? No is the answer, but a little bit dicey there between the two drivers there on lap 10 out of 17. And look at that, so close they're running, absolutely close they're running, and now Simon Allen is on the outside. Not a very promising position there for Simon Allen. He does try to get, I mean, unsurprisingly he runs out of room, and Jambo says thank you very much. Diogo Almeida also ran out of room there, and they were so worried with one another that Jambo just said thank you very much, and up into 5th place he goes. And all of this is doing as well is allowing Gonçalo Mota and Darren Head to go back into this battle. Let's go back to the race leaders, see how they are doing at this stage. As since the beginning it is Delphi Moura, the driver, in front of this race. Diogo Silva was slightly slower on the previous lap by 1/10 of a second, and the gap is like this. Oh no, Delphi Moura is out. He's not out of the race, but he's out of the track. And this is a disaster for Delphi Moura. We'll get a replay of what happened, and again this trackside camera is working fairly poorly. And where does he come out? In 3rd place, it seems to me. And these two drivers were just going a little bit too quickly and forcing each other into a potential mistake, and it seems that Delphi Moura was the first to brake. It's a normal, oh no, he just clips a little bit beyond the curb. He does not use the reset button wisely, and oh no, he spins again, spins a second time, and Scott Davely up into 2nd place. Where does this leave Delphi Moura? Jorge Jesus is coming. Jorge Jesus is coming and is with a lot more momentum. Let's see if he does manage to overtake Delphi Moura. Delphi Moura is now going back into shape, but can Jorge Jesus make a move here? The answer is no, and the leader now is Diogo Silva on lap 12, and with almost 5 seconds of a gap to Scott Davely in 2nd place. Then is the drivers we saw, Delphi Moura and Jorge Jesus, followed by Jambo, Diogo Almeida and Simon Allen now in 7th place. Jorge Jesus did not manage to overtake Delphi Moura, and Delphi is now back into racing pace, but still they are very close to one another. So Delphi clearly with a lot of pace before his off-road excursion. Almost lost it there again. He's trying really hard now to recover and to stay ahead of Jorge Jesus, but for how much longer? Because Jorge Jesus seems to have a little bit more consistency at this point, with 5 laps to go at the line, and with lap times around the 115s, 116s. It seems to me that this battle is not over in the next 5 minutes, and now they're running side by side. I was checking the leaderboard. Darren Head has had an issue, which we will investigate what it is, but first we're going to see if Delphi Moura manages to get side by side there through the chicane with Jorge Jesus, and yes they did, but we are going to just make a very quick intermezzo to this to check whether, well, Darren Head, he's 9 seconds behind Gonçalo Mota. So clearly something structural has happened to Darren Head. The question is it a Darren Head issue, or is it a collision with another driver? And clearly it happened before before this lap, because he's done a 125. So it happened on the previous lap. We'll fast forward back, and this is maybe where it happened. Yes, he has been in the old circuit. So let's see what it was as part of a move. So he comes behind Gonçalo Mota, that number 37, the black car with red stripes, is clearly side by side or ahead, braking towards the chicane. And does he get any assistance? Oh, I don't think so. and he just goes, well, it seems almost he was running the full layout here, because he's running the last corner. Let's just have a quick look at Gonçalo Motta's chase camera on these. I don't think there was contact. I think Gonçalo did yield where he should have yielded. I think Darren just lost it. Yeah, Darren was a little bit in a rush to complete the pass, and that ended up losing an enormous amount of time. Fortunately for him, Kev Allen is there is Darren going back to the track. So 11th still running is of course David Emge, then is Kev Allen, 9th is Darren Head, 8th is now Gonçalo Motta, and Gonçalo Motta has been trying to get back into that battle that now consists of Diogo Almeida and Simon Allen and Jumbo as well to some extent, but he's really not, he's making progress. He was half a second faster than Simon Allen on the previous lap and around 0.3 of a second faster than Diogo Almeida, but the problem is that at this pace it's not going to be easy to necessarily challenge towards the end of the race. Simon Allen also losing touch with Jumbo there, so sorry, with Diogo Almeida. Simon Allen in 7th place, and in 6th place it is Diogo Almeida, 5th is Jumbo, and 4th, this is the replay of the move here, potential move, nice defending there by Delfim Moura. Now at the end of lap 12 they crossed the line, still with Delfim ahead and with the better line there through the red gate corner, but can Jorge Jesus do something smart here and re-emerge on the inside of Delfim Moura at the exit? He does not seem to have the tires to do so now, so tire grip becoming a little bit of an issue, and you can see that Jorge was trying to turn the car and the car was not necessarily turning like he wanted. So they still remain 3rd and 4th. We'll keep an eye on other battles. Things seem to be, oh, and Jorge Jesus clearly struggling with his tires. Delfim Moura, nice move there. Nice exit from the old hairpin, getting himself a little bit of breathing space in the last few laps of this race. Can he get back into the 2nd place battle? He is 5 seconds behind Scott Davey, and we have 4 laps to go at the line. So possible, but not probable, that Delfim Moura is going to have the possibility to challenge for 2nd place. Jumbo running a little bit on his own, then is Diogo Almeida, then is Simon Allen. So they are close to one another, but not battling wheel to wheel. Gonçalo Motta also a couple of seconds behind Simon there. Let's look at the lap times, because at this point, especially for these drivers running in free air, 16.0 Delfim Moura, 16.8 Gonçalo Motta, 16.7 for Jumbo, 16.5 for Diogo Almeida, so he got a couple of tenths there, but he's still a second behind. 16.1 for Simon Allen, so they all seem to gravitate towards one another. The question is, with just 3 laps to go after the completion of this one, whether we can see more battles or not. Gonçalo Motta is losing time there. He's at a 1:16.655, marginally faster than Jumbo, but slower than Diogo Almeida. Simon Allen has made a mistake there. Simon Allen has made a mistake at the old hairpin, and this is going to be an easy pass for Gonçalo Motta, and he's going to... Oh, and then someone has gone off there. Someone has gone off. Who is that? That's Jumbo. That's Jumbo in the gravel. Jumbo in the gravel. So Gonçalo Motta gets 2 positions in one go. Did Jumbo have any help? No. Oh, he did have some help. And how did this happen? Because, well, look at Diogo Almeida. He has gained a lot of ground. Jumbo made a mistake there. He's completely offline. Now, a lot of momentum there by Diogo Almeida. He tries to go on one side, now on the other, and oh, they are going to, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is and Jumbo is off the track. But we, well, we are going to give our quick verdict, maybe one for the admins to give their opinion on. That's why I'm doing this replay. But it kind of like seems to me you have to consider that Jumbo is off the momentum, and then Jumbo just, well, they were not side by side, but Jumbo did shut the door a little bit there, when it is possible to run side by side through that corner if you have a faster car making a move on you. So, and under normal circumstances, it could be a half-baked move by Diogo Almeida, but you have to consider that Jumbo did miss the apex here by a large margin, and is running, is completely off the pace now, and he knows he's got a quicker driver. He knows in his mirrors that, and I think it's easier to see from Diogo Almeida's perspective, that I think Diogo Almeida did have the right to attack there, and it is possible, and then Jumbo moved. His move would be okay if there was no one there, so I'm going to risk calling this a racing incident, but perhaps for further review later on between the two admins, other two admins of Racing PlayStation. Gonçalo Mota, by the way, has gone around. We saw him going around Simon Allen. Simon Allen clearly not a happy chap right now. He is in 6th place, and he gets the position back. That was a good move by Simon Allen there, immediately reversing the position change. So he did make a mistake at the exit of the old hairpin, lost the position to Gonçalo Mota, but then very quickly recovered it. And let's see, well, action until the end is what we have with these Ginetta races. Let's go through the field. Diogo Silva is 6.5 seconds ahead. He's running towards victory, 2nd place. Scott Davely should remain in 2nd place if he does not make any mistakes. 3rd place is Delphi Moura. He led the majority of this race. He's checked out from Jorge Jesus in 4th. 5th is Diogo Almeida. 6th is Simon Allen. 7th is Gonçalo Mota. 8th is Jumbo. Jumbo lost 8 seconds with that off-road excursion caused by that contact with Diogo Almeida. 9th is Darren Head. Darren Head, very good time now, 1:16.426, but he's actually not that behind Jumbo. Look at this. Darren Head can see one position ahead of him, and now just 2 laps to go. And Jumbo running in 5th place, now running in 8th, and trying to hold on to that 8th place. So you can see this type of racing is a little bit of a yo-yo, a little bit of a boomerang when you think things are going very well. Just one moment and things go south terribly, and look at Cavallo, he's actually not that far behind these two drivers either, in the 10th spot. Let's have a look at the other battles, and we have one here between Simon Allen and Diogo Almeida. Simon Allen is he has been in 7th place, has been in 6th, in 5th and 4th, but what matters is where you are on the last lap of the race, and Simon definitely can see that top 5 position still available to him. Diogo Almeida seems to have a little bit too much tire wear, and this is where a little bit the way drivers have driven until now starts becoming apparent now in the last couple of laps, because the tire wear becomes a lot more difficult to manage as these drivers are still battling it out. And by the way, Darren Head has gone around Jumbo. We'll get a replay on how that happened, also because Jumbo seems to have lost 2 seconds in the process. So I'm wondering if there was any action between these two, or whether Jumbo just made a mistake after or before he was overtaken by Darren, or if nothing happened, it was just a clean move. So we shall see. It seems to have, oh no, then it was Jumbo that completely, he was trying, he was defending, and you can see he's trying to brake late, but now the tire, the grip is not there. He then commits to the corner, but he's offline, and he's gonna lose surely a position to Kev Allen if he's not careful. There he is running through the grass. He's still ahead of Kev, and I believe he's still ahead of Kev, yes, but he loses the position there to Darren Head in 8th place. So now most of the action that we see is really tire wear driven, as and by the way, David Emge has retired from the race unfortunately, so we only have 10 runners. 10th is Kev Allen. He's still going after Jumbo. Jumbo not having the afternoon that he was hoping, especially after being in 5th place for so long. He's now running 9th. Darren Head in 8th, not the race that he expected either. Gonçalves in 7th. 6th is Simon Allen, and Simon Allen seems to be the driver on the move now. Still on the last lap, he's holding on to that pressure to Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida still with the advantage. Oh, Simon Allen is running very wide there. He really wanted more grip on those tires, but the grip is just not there. He goes for it, which is a little bit risky. He could have spun easily, but fortunately maintains the momentum and still is in the running for that top 5. Nice exit there from the old hairpin. And still to see who is going to finish in 5th, because Diogo Almeida's tire seems to be absolutely gone. Is he going to go for the dive here? He probably thought about it, but wisely decided not to do it. And Diogo Silva is going to win this race, by the way. But we are going to stay here for this battle. Diogo Silva is going to win. 2nd is going to be Scott David. 3rd is going to be Delphine Moura. 4th is going to be Jorge Jesus. 5th is going to be who? Diogo Almeida takes the inside line. Look at this. Simon Allen is going to go for it. It's the last corner. Simon Allen tried to be brave and run side by side. He's going to go for it. Yes, he's going to go for it. And he pushes a little bit of pushing and shoving there. A little bit of pushing and shoving. We'll get the replay, but Simon Allen does cross the line in 5th spot. Was this completely legal? And remember, this is not Formula 1, so we have a little bit of a laissez-faire, laissez-passer type of approach to this racing. I mean, particularly this car. I mean, there's going to be some pushing and shoving. It's the last lap, it's the last corner, and we do want to see racing. We don't want to see those Lando Norris, Max Verstappen type of situation. Look at this. It was really Diogo Almeida trying to hold on to that line, not giving a lot of space, but Simon Allen finds that space. He brakes later. He's not out of shape, importantly. He's going to make it through the corner, and so at this point he does have the right to have some space, and he absolutely takes that right to the maximum allowed magnitude, because Diogo Almeida does lose a little bit of time. He hits the gravel momentarily, so we'll let that one be as well, and call that some very cool racing between these two drivers, to be honest. 7th is going to be Gonçalves Mota. 8th is going to be Darren Head. 9th is going to be Jumbo, and he's not going to be happy with that result. 10th is going to be Kev Allen, and Kev Allen very close to 9th place, but not quite. Close but no cigar. We had amazing racing as we expected in this opening round of the Transatlantic Cup. Diogo Silva opens the season with the win, followed by Scott Davley, followed by Delphine Moura. We are going to immediately move to race 2, which is in the same circuit and with the same car, of course. So stay with us as we just make a very quick not commercial, but a very quick break to just load the 2nd race of this season. You can see that we did already a couple more rounds. We have been a little bit late with the replays, but hopefully during this week we'll catch up. We are back at Donington Park, National Circuit. What a beautiful circuit it is. Very good fit with this particular car, the Ginetta G40 GT5. Very iconic car, and allows for pretty good racing in Project Cars 2. It's actually one of the best cars in this simulation, in my perspective. And we are going to have, well, they did it all over again, so qualifying and another 17 laps of racing. Let's see how they line up. Delphine Moura is the pole position man again. Can he win this time? Diogo Silva in 2nd place, Jorge Jesus and Jumbo. Nice qualifying from Jumbo in the 2nd row there. 4th place, 50, Simon Allen. 60, Scott Davis. 7th, Kev Allen. 8th is Darren Head. Not great qualifying for Darren Head there. 9th is Diogo Almeida, also not great qualifying. He hopes to do better in the race. 10th is Gonçalo Mota, likewise. 11th is David Emge, and they all are now ready for another 17 laps of action. And there they go, 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 go. Nice, and ooh, we have not seen, but Jorge Jesus and Delphi Moura both have a drive-through for jump start, so this is going immediately to impact this race as they all go through turn 1. Or do they? No, they don't, because Darren Head is in 11th place, and something has happened there to Darren Head, and we're going to see what was it, because might have been on his own, might have been contact, and it was contact. Let's see what on earth happened here at the start with Darren Head, with quite a lot of cars there, as look at this, someone didn't quite get it off the line as well, and that is Scott Davely. So Scott Davely, poor start for Scott. Darren is, oh look at this, Kev Allen got the bump from Diogo Almeida. Look at Kev Allen start, unbelievable. He goes up into 2nd place. Now 3 wide here is not gonna work, that I can tell you. Gonçalo Mota and Simon Allen, and then Darren Head was trying to squeeze through there and just came into the path of Diogo Almeida. The admins had actually looked at this incident already and deemed it a racing incident, and that is precisely because you could see at the start here, let's actually look at Diogo Almeida, because he did get an amazing start, and unfortunately he wasn't the one that benefited from it, because he hit Kev Allen, who did, look at this, Kev Allen gets a turbo boost there. Diogo Almeida side by side with Simon Allen, but Gonçalo Mota with a great start here is going to go through the middle and actually push Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida is, well, really minding his own business, and Darren Head is the one that is reacting to the presence of Simon Allen and Gonçalo Mota, and actually turns right a little bit too much. So Darren already with his race potentially compromised. And look at this, the top 2 are Delphi Moura and Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva and Kev Allen with that amazing start. But there is a drive-through situation for these 2 drivers. Let's see when they elect to take that drive-through, because there are several strategies possible here. We want to encourage people to take it as quickly as possible, but it's a little bit difficult to monitor that, and one thing they don't want to do is probably to just waste time battling with one another. And Delphi Moura actually, is he going in? Yes, he's going in, and so does Jorge Jesus. So both of them are taking, and look at that, there's another driver also going in there, and we cannot see who that is. That's Gonçalo Mota. Did Gonçalo Mota also have? Yes, so the 3 drive-throughs, so plenty of action here, and Gonçalo Mota did have that amazing start. The only driver that had an amazing start and did not get a penalty was Diogo Almeida, and then he bumped Kev Allen into a great start that also did not get any penalty, fortunately for them. But this has shuffled Gonçalo Mota into 11th, Jorge Jesus into 10th, Delphi Moura into 9th, Darren Head is 8th, despite being off in the first corner. Then is David Emge in 7th, Diogo Almeida in 6th, he also lost time with that incident, although not as much as Darren Head. Then is Scott Davely 5th, 4th is Jumbo, 3rd is Simon Allen, and 2nd is Kev Allen, with Diogo Silva now leading the race, the winner of race 1. But this is quite a different picture from what we've seen in qualifying or in the early stages of race 1, with Diogo Silva now leading the race from the first lap. But Kev Allen really has other situation. Well, Kev Allen definitely wants that lead, and the top 5 have checked out from pretty much everyone else. Simon Allen in 3rd, Jumbo in 4th, Scott Davely in 5th, and then there is a gap of around 4 seconds to Diogo Almeida. By the way, there is plenty of action here. Darren Head has gone up into 7th, and David Emge trying to defend from George Jesus. In fact, George Jesus is ahead of him, and I think very quickly Delphi Mora is also going to be ahead. Delphi Mora up into 9th position. Gonçalo Mota is still a couple of seconds behind. Let's have a look at this battle for the lead, because it's quite intense right now. And that's Kev Allen, the driver that is chasing the lead from the current. Look at that, Diogo Silva there in first place, trying to go defensive there, and now taking the racing line, just borderline okay in terms of movement and defense. And Kev Allen, look at that, he's really going for it. And they complete lap 3 now. Simon Allen is in third. There's a battle there between Jumbo and Scott Davely as well at the back. Potentially a move in turn 1. Let's see if that happens. Did not happen. But continues to run quite closely. These three continue to run quite close to one another, and 4 seconds ahead of other drivers. By the way, there's a big battle here by the looks of it between Darren Head, George Jesus and Delphi Mora. These drivers have plenty of pace to be ahead a lot further up in the leaderboard, but 2 of them had to take a drive-through penalty, and one of them had an off-road excursion in turn 1. It does seem to me that George Jesus is faster than Darren at this point, and potentially going to go for it there. Ooh, look at this, they almost look like just one car as they approach the chicane for the 4th time. Now George Jesus that is actually defending from Delphi Mora. Delphi Mora on the inside there. George Jesus is going to everyone seems to be behaving at this point. Delphi Mora with a nice exit there from Red Gate corner, and takes the position for the time being. Goes up into 8th spot. Kind of seems that these drivers are just about to wreck. But oh, let's see what happened to Kev Allen in the front. Kev Allen has lost time and is now under pressure from Simon Allen. So Diogo Silva with 2.2 seconds of a gap now on lap 5. Scott Davely and Jumbo continue to battle, but I'm going to focus here on this one, because you always feel that something is about to happen with these 3 drivers. Then had Delphi Mora and George Jesus. Gonçalo Mota, by the way, is up into 10th spot. Lap 5 out of 17 is still in the first third of the race. But and Kev Allen has had a big problem. No, he's not, sorry. I apologize. Kev Allen is still in 2nd place. I was misreading the situation there. Kev Allen continues to be in 2nd place. He's done a 17.8. which is not a great lap time at this point of the race, with almost fresh tires, and that's why he's lost 1.8 seconds on the last lap to Diogo Silva. So some sort of like off-road minor error might have happened to that number 57, the yellow car of Kev Allen. Simon Allen definitely wants that place. Jumbo continues to be ahead of Scott Davely. Now let's go back to Darren Head. And by the way, Delphi Mora has been overtaken by George Jesus, and it's actually Darren Head has got a bit of breathing space there. Let's have a look at what might have happened between these 2 drivers. Actually, let's look at George instead of Delphi, and well, it was just a mistake, wasn't it? Yes, it was. As look at this, trying very hard, both drivers, they're truly old hairpin. Delphi a little bit wide, has to get off the throttle not to spin, and this is going to be an easy pass there for George. And you can see that, there you see that what we were mentioning on the previous race. You can run side by side there. In this case, Dauphine was a little bit out of shape and had not much momentum, but Dauphine Mora back into 9th spot now at the end of lap 6, so we are now on the second third of the race. Let's keep an eye on battles between Simon Allen and Kev Allen for second, between Jumbo and Scott Davely for fourth, and of course the most exciting battle we have on the track right now, this combined battle for 7th place between Darren Head, Jorge Jesus and Dauphine Mora as they cross the line nose to tail. They are going after Diogo Almeida, and Diogo Almeida has done a 1:17.112. Look at this is Dauphine Mora on the inside there. There's not a lot of space, and they clash between the two drivers. Dauphine Mora ends up getting the position there. We'll get a replay of this. Just well, I don't think it's going to require any investigation, but it seems to me that Jorge Jesus was just trying a little bit too hard to defend that position. He was in the middle of the track already, and Dauphine is going, and Jorge is just going a little bit too much inside, and then runs out of room on the outside. So probably better. I mean, we're still on lap 7, and they're still battling with one another. He ends up losing 2 seconds, so not a great move there for Jorge Jesus. He ends up losing touch with Dauphine Mora, and now firmly in 9th spot. Diogo Silva continues to lead this race, but the big battle is now here because the Allens are at it, and Jumbo has actually checked out from Scott Davely. The gap is now 3 seconds, so Scott having some difficulties following the pace of the leader, and something must have happened this lap, because last lap is under 1:15.843, which is a pretty decent lap time. But now at the end of lap 7 we are going to see what's the damage, and the damage is probably not a great lap time for the American driver, as Diogo Silva crosses the line 2.5 seconds ahead of the Allens that are at it, but Simon Allen hasn't so far actually made a move. Jumbo is getting into this battle, as we expected. Scott Davely's lap time was not great, 1:18.337. Diogo Almeida is actually now closer. He's done a good time now, 1:16.5, but still Darren Head and Dauphine Mora are closer now, marginally closer to Diogo Almeida in 6th place. The big battle is here between the two Allens. Simon Allen seems to have a little bit more pace right now. Simon Allen seems to have a little bit more pace. Oh, and Kev Allen spins, or it's well, it's more of a half spin, but he ends up on his own losing 2 positions. Up into 2nd goes Simon Allen, and up into 3rd goes Jumbo. Can Kev Allen hold on to that 4th place? He can, because Scott Davely is still a few car lengths behind. Then it's Diogo Almeida, and Darren Head is now checked out. No, he's not checked out from anyone. Dauphine Mora is right there in 8th place, but ready to pounce for that 7th place battle. And it seems to me that Dauphine Mora has got a lot of momentum coming out of the last chicane, and he is now going for it on the outside of turn 1, red gate corner, and it seems to me that Darren Head is going to try to resist. Dauphine Mora locks up but manages to complete the move. That was a good move there by Dauphine Mora. Nice racing there for him. We'll go through the field now. Basically at the second half of this race, Diogo Silva has led since the beginning, and of course the battles behind him mean that the gap has grown to 3.5 seconds. That is Simon Allen, the driver, in 2nd place. 3rd place is Jumbo, and Jumbo having a good race, but he was having a good race in race 1 by this point. So important thing is to... Oh no, Jumbo is... Oh no, and I didn't mean to jinx it. Oh no, Jumbo loses it on his own and loses an enormous amount of time. He's back into the race. He's ahead of Diogo Almeida, but he's going to still losing quite a lot of momentum. He's down into 5th now. Up into 3rd goes Kev Allen, up into 4th goes Scott Davely, and this is a disaster for Jumbo because he's now in the battle with Diogo Almeida. He's recovered the momentum, but Diogo Almeida is really behind, and Dauphine Mora and Darren Head are also in the horizon. There's potential here for reenacting the battles we had in race 1, just with slightly different characters. Jumbo lost it on his own, just a little bit like Kev Allen did in the previous corner, the previous lap. Joe Almeida continues to be 6th, followed by Delphi Moura, Darren Head, Jorge Jesus, Gonçalo Mota. We haven't seen too much of him. Let's have a look at what's happening. In 11th is David Emge, and 10th is Gonçalo Mota, who hasn't really recovered at all from that drive-through penalty, and maybe he's done more mistakes which we haven't captured necessarily. He's done a 1:16.522, so it's not a pace problem, but definitely consistency, because he's running 20 seconds. And by the way, something happened to Darren Head, because Darren Head has had a problem, but as I was saying, Gonçalo Mota is 20 seconds behind now Darren Head. Darren has been off the road, and I have a suspicion this happened while just clipping the curb, clipping a little bit too much outside of the curb to be more precise, and does not use the reset button, which makes him lose a lot of time. There goes Jorge Jesus, who had that moment in turn 1 on the previous lap. Now Darren is on no man's land really, because he's basically 5 seconds behind Jorge, and he's got a lot of a much bigger gap over Gonçalo Mota, but not the round that Darren had wanted after problems in race 1. We have problems also in race 2. Jorge Jesus is trying to make a bit of a recovery, but he's 7 seconds behind Delphi Moura now. He's done 1:16.7, which is not a great lap because Delphi is much faster at this point. So the battle now is Jumbo, Diogo Almeida. We have seen those two very close on the previous lap, followed by Delphi Moura, and Delphi has done a 1:15.860. He's at only a 1/10 of a second faster than Diogo Almeida though. But Diogo Almeida now battling with Jumbo is likely to lose a little bit more time, and so I have a strong suspicion that Delphi Moura is going to be all over the back of Diogo Almeida in a lap or two. We still have 6 laps to go at the line. 6 laps to go at the line in this race 2 of round 1. Donington Park. Alton Park is the next round. Should be exciting. Diogo Almeida had a look, but as we expected, Delphi Moura is all over the place, and he's actually off the track there as well. Loses a little bit of momentum, but nice is there. Nice exit from Diogo Almeida. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. And he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it, but Jumbo just shuts the door and retains the position. Scott Davely has not done a great lap. 1:16.660. Well, it wasn't that bad, but it seems to me that Jumbo is closer to him now. But this is a nice battle that we should follow here. Race leader, by the way, has 4 seconds over Simon Allen. Diogo Silva. Oh, look at this. Diogo Almeida is off the track. Diogo Almeida is off the track. Potentially, he's also losing a position. Yes, he is. So Delphi Moura up into 6th place. So he's recovering nicely from that drive-through penalty. And he's got 5th place in sight, potentially 4th. Let's go through the field now at the end of lap 12. Race leader Diogo Silva is led every lap of this race. He's won race 1, so he's starting this championship in a very positive tone. He's completing lap 12, so 5 to go now. And a 1:16.4. Simon Allen a 1:16.5, sorry, and 1:16.4. So not much between the leaders, but that 3.7 second gap between Diogo Silva and the Allens proving to be quite crucial at this point. That is Scott Davely. Then is Jumbo, and Jumbo should start looking in his mirrors, because Delphi Moura, that baby blue car, the man on the pole position, the man that led most of race 1 before dropping to 3rd after a spin, and look at this, Jumbo is almost losing it there at the exit of the old hairpin. And you have to wonder for how much longer is Jumbo going to resist the pressure that Delphi Moura is applying. And there he comes. No space there for a side-by-side move through that particular corner, but it seems to me that with a good exit here, he's going to position himself to go side by side on the chicane. That's probably what's on Delphine Mora's mind as Jumbo goes defensive. Jumbo goes defensive, and oh, the contact between the two drivers there, as Jumbo was in the middle of the track and then decided to go to the left of the track, which was where Delphine Mora was coming with a lot of momentum. Diogo Almeida wants a piece of that action to end of lap 13. Delphine Mora has been quite effective at making moves in turn 1 as well. Maybe he can make one here. He's a little bit too far behind, I think. He's a little bit too far behind. By the way, the Allens are at it as well for second place. Oh, nice move there, nice move. Delphine Mora timing it to perfection to make a better exit out of Red Gate corner. In fact, Jumbo had quite a poor exit and is now being very heavily pressured by Diogo Almeida. So he's running a little bit backwards in this race from 5th to 6th, now potentially to 7th, as Diogo Almeida wants that place back and he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Is he going to make a move here? Not quite. Jumbo moves to the inside of the corner. Diogo Almeida runs out of room there. And how much time did he lose? The answer is he did lose a little bit. Let's have a quick replay of what happened there. As maybe at some point they were just pointing towards the same piece of real estate. Not really. Diogo Almeida has momentum, but Jumbo gives him space. And Diogo Almeida is going to switch very abruptly to the other side and just ends up clipping the grass. Yes, that's probably what happened. He does avoid spinning. Well, in fact, he does a great job getting the car back into shape, but he just lost that crucial second there that makes Jumbo's life easier over the next lap or so. Let's go back to the trackside view. And let's go back to the battle for second place as Kev Allen is really going after Simon. Race leader Diogo Silva now 3.6 seconds is not that much. 2 laps to go at the end of this one, so basically 3 laps to go from now, as we are really in turn 1. Kev Allen is a little bit overexcited there in turn 1, lucky not to lose it. Scott Davley retains 4th place. Delphine Mora was 0.2 of a second, so Scott Davley retaining a pretty good pace, 1:16.258, only a 1/10 of a second slower than the leader, and around 0.2 of a second slower than Kev Allen, that is probably benefiting from some draft, very minor draft that this car has of Simon. That number 11 holding on to that second place, but towards the end of the race, Kev Allen seems to be feisty and won that second place. What will happen between the Allens? We've seen fireworks between these two before, or at least a few sparks, and here comes Kev Allen on the inside now, but he's too far behind. You need to be side by side realistically to make a move on the chicane, and he's clearly not. Better off just having a better exit through here. And now with just 2 laps to go, the gap is 4.1 seconds, but the gap between the Allens is almost nil as they go through the line. Delphine Mora, by the way, he may not make it. He's done a 1:15.920. That is 0.3 of a second faster than Scott Davley, but he still has 1.5 seconds to go. Kev Allen is running out of time, and he knows it. Simon Allen a little bit defensive there through the exit of Red Gate, but absolutely fine. This is a very tricky place to pass here before the old happen. You're probably better off just running through closely, and Kev Allen did so, but marginally missed the apex there. So 1 car length behind, which is enough for not really being able to threaten through this section here. Now he's going to do it all over again. He's too far behind to make a move at the chicane, surely, unless Simon Allen completely messes up this corner, which doesn't seem to be the case. Kev does recover some ground, so maybe he's got a run. Does he have a run? Not really. Again, it's basically the same distance as last time. Diogo Silva, the race leader, is going to start his last lap. So will the Allens in 2nd and 3rd place. This is a good battle. Simon Allen, Simon a little bit out of shape, but so did Kev. Almost looks like Kev is following Simon. But now, this is the last lap. This is the last lap. And in turn 1, can he go for the dive? No, he can't go for the dive. Scott Davley is 0.5 of a second slower than Delphine Mora, but he only has to hold on for 1 more lap. In fact, everyone just needs to hold on for one more lap, but we continue to follow. By the way, Diogo Almeida has had a problem. Diogo Almeida has had a problem and he's or was he behind Jumbo? I think he was behind Jumbo, sorry, getting confused here. Simon Owen survives the old hairpin and only has a few more corners to go to get that second place in the bag. He seems to have opened a little bit of a gap actually. David Emge running in 11th is going to be on the lead lap just as Diogo Silva is behind him, but still fairly behind. This is it for the Allianz. I think Kev is too far behind. I think Kev is too far behind unless he makes a complete dive bomb, which we know he won't do. And it's going to be Simon Owen. In fact, it's going to be Diogo Silva winning the race, followed by Simon, followed by Kev. Yes. Oh, there's a crash there at the back. There's a crash there at the back. And who was this? It was Delphi Moura. Delphi Moura has crashed and is down into 7th spot. We'll get a replay of what happened through the chase camera. Did he have any help or he just lost it? Disaster for Delphi Moura, the man on pole position. Loses it in the last corner. Was he trying to make a move on someone? No. He was very close to Scott Davely, but not quite. Well, he was trying to overtake Scott. Does he? Well, he goes through the curb normally here, but then, oh, we just lost it, and that's very unfortunate for Delphi Moura as he loses the 2 positions as Jumbo finishes in 5th place, followed by Diogo Almeida, followed by Delphi Moura. Or does he lose the position? No. Delphi Moura in 7th, 8th is Jorge Jesus, 9th is going to be Darren Head, 10th is going to be Gonçalo Mota, and Gonçalo Mota not very happy with this result. He did have that drive-through which did not help, but then he was a little bit stuck around 20 seconds behind the drivers in front, which is a little bit of a frustrating race, because even if you do good laps, you are not necessarily going to recover 20 seconds in such a short race with such a tight field. As we see Gonçalo Mota crossing the line there and in 10th place. Still, it's points for the championship and better days will come as now David Emge finishes the race in 11th. He did finish the second race. So that completes the coverage of All Fox Racing PlayStation for round 1. We'll be back with Alton Park, but it's Diogo Silva, the winner of race 2, followed by Simon Owen, followed by Kev Allen. So that's all now in the Liberator channel. We hope to see you very, very soon. Until then, it's bye-bye.